We need to understand that buttons have its own mood, just like colors. So different buttons pass a different notion to the users, and they understand what the brand is all about. Is this brand friendly? Are they street? Are they corporate? Are they all of these things? So let's look at it in lesson 29. Designing great buttons in Figma involves paying attention to several key elements such as the button's shape, size, color, typography, and placement. Here are some tips to help you design great buttons in Figma. 1. Define the button's purpose. Before you start designing your button, define its purpose. Is this a primary action, a secondary action, or a call to action? Knowing the purpose of the button would help you to make informed design decisions. 2. Use a clear and concise label. Your button's label should be easy to read and understandable. Use clear and concise language to convey the button's purpose. What is the purpose of this button? Is it to add to cart? Is it to get started? Is it to buy now, pay later? Is it register, sign up, sign in? What are the purpose of this button, or what is the purpose of this particular button? Choose an appropriate shape. Buttons can come in different shapes, including rounded, rectangular, or circular. Choose a button that fits your design style and complements your interface. Consider size and placement. The size and placement of a button can affect its usability. Ensure that your button is large enough to be easily clicked and placed in a visible location. So the thumb rule is very important for your buttons. Don't do a button that is very tiny that one has to hold his phone on the left hand and tap with the index fingers. All right, it should be with their thumbs, and it should be both big enough for a user to take action. Use contrasting colors. Your button colors should stand out from the background to make it easy to locate. Use contrasting colors to ensure your button is visible enough. Add hover and press states. Adding hover and press states to your button can make it more interactive and engaging. Consider adding subtle animation to these states to improve the user experience. Who doesn't like interactions? All right, but minimal interactions is key to a successful product. Use consistent styling. Consistency is essential in design. Ensure that your button styling is consistent throughout your interface to maintain a cohesive design. Now, what I mean by this is, if you are using an all-rounded a circular button, ensure you stick to it across boards. And I know in some cases people ask questions like, on the input field, what button, if I'm using an all-rounded button, what input field radius can I use for the container? You can use the rounded button. You can use the circular buttons as well, and I'm going to show you an example of what I mean, and we'll get back to the last phase of this button. So let's get back to our design, and these are some examples of buttons. We have the circular button, we have the rounded button, which is also in this format as well, and then we have the sharp edge buttons. All right, and then for input fields, if I grab this and bring it out here, let's grab something else. So let's take this, put it by the side, maybe this way, right, zooming, and we have a grid. So I'm going to give you the 4-point grid, and let's leave this button here. So it's going to run from end to end. Move it upward a bit, and let's do our input field. So what do we have to do? We grab our text, bring it here. I have a container. I like to give my container some spacing. I'm going to come back to that. For now, let me make it gray so that I can be able to differentiate it from the background. I don't need all of this text anymore, so I'll get rid of them. Select this, left align them, and type in email. All Right, so there are different input field as well, so you can do your own research based on what you're working on, and you can use it for that purpose. So I've constrained it, and selecting my frame, I would move it upward to about 50 px. So it's on 51, so you can make yours 50. And for this, I'm going to give it all rounded, so I'm going to type 200 or 100 or whichever one you want to type is fine. So I'm going to move this upward and close out the width, and this is 16. I'm going to leave it at 16. It's on regular. Move this upward, and I'm going to give it a spacing. The proximity between them should be 16, so I'm going to type in 16 up here in the space between them, and that is it. Put them on an auto layout by clicking on the auto layout panel here, and I have this. So this is for the email, and we can put here e.g. David White at gmail.com. Right, cool. So I like that. We can now duplicate it for other features, and the spacing between them I give is 20. Alright, we can now put both of these in an auto layout, and I can change this to, like, let's say password, right? And for the password you would want to hide it. Right, so this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go close out that stuff Figma has done for us, and that is cool. Awesome. So I have that, and don't forget to put the eye. So I'm going to use a circle for now, and just change the color to something dark for now, and put it in here somewhere around here is fine, so that the user, and you can make that 20 in size, so that the user can be able to click on it. Awesome. So I have this input field, and this is going to be sign in. All right, this is going to be sign in, and we just move all of this downwards, and we can like duplicate this and say something like welcome back to DW. Right, I'll move this here and increase that text to 36, make it something like medium, change the proximity, something like this, move it upward a bit, and just put a dot there, and that dot I'm going to make it purple. Right, so we have this. Okay, and you know what, I'm going to move this and this downwards a bit, move it upward a bit, and put this inside a frame, and that frame would change this one now to white, and that frame would be purple, not white. That frame would be purple, right? And this white will be orange, and the other one will be white. And let's hide that and see what we have here. So we have this just going fine, and then we can select this two and give that stroke that gray and give the fill white. Right, and this way we can increase the width of the stroke to 1.5 or 2, and this is what we're going to have. All right, so this is for the input field, and this is the button, and you have to just keep it consistent. Don't forget we have something we usually do here, which is forgot password, reset now. And for the reset now, I like them to know that it's clickable, so I'm going to give it an underline, and I probably will change it to like bold, and probably give it the primary color blue, purple. Have I been calling this blue? So I'll give it a primary button called purple. And yeah, so the height of this is 85. Don't make your button this way. The highest I use for mobile is 57, so you can actually reduce the size to 60. I'm going to use 60 for this, and the text size I'm going to change it to 20. So you can use between 16 to 20 for the text size. And this is what I have here. I'm just going to draw something like this for the down part, and the height is going to be 6. All right, round that stuff and center it right, and change it to the black, the dark one. Move it downwards a bit, and you know what, just close it in a bit. Right, so there we have it, guys. And when one is selected, you can change its color to purple. All right, and that is how you can do this thing. So I'm going to change it from example to this, and I'm going to change this to here, and change this other stroke to blue. Right, so this is how you can design your different screens for your sorry, give me a second, design your different buttons. And I've actually used these to show you kind of a consistency in the designs that you can create with the button. So ensure consistency. You can still use, all right, you can still use the other format like radius of 8 for these buttons as well. For the input field, that doesn't, there's no obstruction in that. But for your buttons in the different screens, wherever screen you do sign up, sign in, interactions, as long as it's an action inside of the design or outside, it should be consistent. If it's rounded, it should be rounded. If the size is 60 in height, it should be 60 in height and should not be changing up and down. All right, guys, this is it, and I hope you've gotten something from this. We'll take a look at the last page. So by following these tips, you can create great buttons in Figma that are easy to use and enhance the user experience. I hope this helps you create better buttons and ensure that your buttons are based on precise understanding. And when I talk about understanding, I'm talking about use buttons that have meanings.